Good morning and welcome everyone. My name is Richard Engberg and I'm an equity researcher here at Erik Penser Bank with focus on tech and software. With me I have Jessica Skon, CEO of BTS Group, and Philios Andreou, Deputy CEO of BTS Group. Welcome guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So you had your Q4 report today, and can you please describe what is driving growth in your different segments during the quarter?
Sure. I can start with North America and then maybe Philios can speak about Europe and most of the world. So in the North American market in the fourth quarter, there was some clear industries that drove, our growth. First one, financial services, second one, energy, and the third one, as we saw, come back from our software clients. So those were the three main industries. And I think from a portfolio perspective, it was very balanced across our services.
Yeah, and if we look at the rest, both Europe and I would say other markets, I would say there are four factors that drives growth. One is increased activity. We're also, more active in the market, so that helps. The other one is focus. So we have that strategy since, say, before the summer of how do we focus on, like what Jessica said, in particular industries that we believe that they will do better, particular clients that work more with us and so on. So that focus is helping. We've also have applied better pricing and better selection of projects, which then that combination allows focusing on better assignments by the clients, which can drive growth. And lastly, we've had a strategy on the company-wide to focus on, say, what we say go-to-market, which means particular buyers within our clients that will need differential type of services, like if you're heading a sales and marketing function and transformation, what type of services would you need and what type of help would you need from someone like us, or if you're doing that on the talent side and so on. So those four things, so increased activity, focus, kind of the go-to-market approach, and better pricing and projects, I would say the growth part.
Okay, great. And you mentioned some industries in North America, but can you please elaborate a bit on what industries, apart from the ones you mentioned, are driving growth right now?
I think there's a couple more. Professional services, particularly in Europe, pharma and bio, healthcare. Those are the big ones.
Yeah, in other markets we see also some telecom, probably because we were a little bit lower on the telecom side in the past. So now we're seeing being able to get into bigger projects on the telecom industry, but also the pharma and even some of the consumer goods companies that we've always had a stronghold, but we see them now, especially global companies wanting to transform their organizations going forward, and they use us as part of that transformation.
That's a good point. There's a lot of revenue growth management initiatives again, right, in the CPGs.
Okay, and your biggest segment is North America. Could you please describe the development in North America during the quarter? Last quarter we saw a downturn in revenue from software clients, but now you achieve a very strong growth both year on year and quarter on quarter.
Yeah, the fourth quarter was a comeback for North America. It was quite a rebound. We were flat in the third quarter, and in the fourth quarter we had 17% growth. The reason for that was the software clients who caused us to be flat in the third quarter. Most of those came back and became active clients again in the fourth quarter. The second reason is financial services is really going kind of strongly for us on the east coast of the country. So it was the rebound of the software clients, financial services, and then energy continues to be strong in the Houston market.
Okay, great. And you mentioned in the report some strategic initiatives in North America. Can you talk a bit about them?
Yeah. So while we're proud of the growth, we're not very happy with the margin decline, even though profitability increased. So the big initiative for North America is more of a workforce planning initiative, similar to the One Europe approach for Europe. And so that includes kind of a relook at the portfolio of services and making sure we have the right mix of talent to support them. So getting the balance right between specialists and generalists, more seasoned employees, fresh out of school undergrads, and which contractors are going to do which amount of work. So I think there's some tightening up we can do there, and that should yield some significant productivity gains.
Great. And my next question is to you, Philios, and you show a really strong margin in both Europe and other markets. Can you please elaborate a bit on why this development has been so significant in these two markets?
Yes. So I would say it's a work for the whole year. Maybe it shows up more in particular quarters because of the how big the quarter is in terms of revenues. But for the whole year, I think a couple of things that we have been driving that hit on the profitability. One is a more centralization approach. So in Europe, we had the One Europe kind of project, which tend to bring together all the different European markets and say, let's share expertise, resources, so that we don't need to A, overhire, and B, we can use the best when needed there, and also better utilization of resources. In other markets, we have done the same, but more a little bit regionally. So we have merged the Australia unit with the Asia, so to do Asia Pacific, and also Middle East, Africa, and India as another unit, and all the Latin American units as well. So that has allowed us to take more advantage of using better resources when needed, and when one of the kind of countries or offices is a little bit down, then the people can be used in different other ones. So that's part of the profitability. The other one is we've hired a little bit early, which then meant that when the quarter started increasing, we had the people to be able to use it, and therefore our using of externals was less in the last quarters, which drove profitability up. And lastly, as I said, the kind of focus on particular clients and projects allowed more profitable projects coming in and working through.
Okay, great. And can you both please describe the guidance for 2023 and how the current economic climate has affected you?
Yeah, I mean, from everything we can see right now, we believe our earnings will be better than in 2022. That's a combination of a growth plan, but also improved productivity gains throughout the year. The economic environment is uncertain. It's certainly uncertain and volatile, but it is playing out quite differently in different industries, right, as I mentioned. So what we're seeing, we came into the beginning of the year with a very strong pipeline. And then as January began to unfold, we started to experience some delays in two sectors, manufacturing and software. But the other sectors like energy, financial services, biotech, pharma, healthcare are doing particularly well at the moment. So, we are expecting conservatism from our clients. We're seeing not only some delays in some places, but also just it's taking longer to close deals. On the other hand, the industries that I mentioned are acting as normal. So it's a mix.
And at the same time, we've put in place our own way of working, which means, in times like this, what we need to do is obviously do more. So if before it used to take you, let's say, 3 times meeting a client to get through it, maybe now it takes 6 times. So what you need to do is multiply by 2 the amount of contacts, the points, the reach outs, and so on. And we've been driving this for the last, I would say, 3-4 months, which means that despite whatever the market might look like, we feel confident that our own organization is working really well towards coming to the outlook we want.
Great. And my last question is, BTS has a history of acquisitions. And how do you view the acquisition market right now? And what are you looking for?
Yeah. Well, we would love to take advantage of a softer market to find some great companies to join the team. And we look for a wide variety of things. Sometimes we look for geographical coverage or bolstering a team in one of our countries. Number 2, we look for just capability gaps in terms of our current portfolio. Both the capability gaps that would support the talent and the HR offerings that we have, but also capability gaps on the bigger change and transformation initiatives that we support. And then we're always looking for great people. So it would be an awesome year if we're able to make a couple acquisitions during 2023, but it's just a matter of finding the right teams and companies. We have a decent pipeline right now, but
And becoming bigger and more present in the market means that we are one of the companies that wish to be integrated in other organizations. They reach out. So we do have a good pipeline and demand. I think it's more on us identifying which ones would be successful for us in the future and making sure we go for those. No?
Yeah.
Okay, great. Jessica and Philios, thank you for coming here to Erik Penser Bank, and thank you all for viewing.
Thank you.